All right, happy Wednesday. Back with my reading lesson for today. I thought maybe we would go through the story that we should be reading today if we were together in class. It is a fun one. It's called Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. And it is a reading counts book as well. So when you are done reading along with the story, I'll put the link in the document that I send your parents on Remind. That way you can go online and take a reading counts quiz and get points for it. Not a bad deal if you ask me. Let's get to our story. So let's go to Connect Ed. And here's the student side. And you want to go over here to the book to read.
Read.
And we already read Super Tools. There it is. Click, clack, moo. Cows that type. It's a fun story. All right, here we go. I'd like to read it to you. I miss reading you stories, so I'm going to read. While we're reading, we're going to be thinking about our essential question, which is, how can we work together to make our lives better? We're going to read about how some smart cows and hens get what they want. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. At first he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible! Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. There's Farmer Brown, typical farmer, got a straw hat on, a big red barn. Definitely a farmer. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. There's a note. Looks like it must be on the barn because it's red. Dear Farmer Brown. Oh, it's a letter. The barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. Guys, I'm wondering, what's the genre of our story? Is this informational nonfiction? Is it a fable? Is it a fantasy? What do you think? If you said fantasy, you were totally correct because I have never heard a cow talk, let alone type on a typewriter. This is a fantasy story. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on strike. They left a note on the barn door. So when you go on strike, you stop. You no longer do what you're doing. Now don't get any funny ideas, first graders. You can't go on strike. No time for that. Here's what their note says. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. And look, they even put a lock and chain on the barn door. And can you see the farmer's shadow? Can you see his shadow here? Looks like his arms are up and he might be stomping on the ground like, arr! He might be frustrated that the cows went on strike. No milk today, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click, clack, moo, click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. The next day, he got another note. Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. So now he's got cows and hens complaining that they're cold and they want an electric blanket. Do you know what an electric blanket is? I got one in our bedroom that I use at winter time. It is a blanket that has all these coils running through it that you plug the blanket into the wall, into the outlet, and then you turn it on and the coils get nice and warm and they heat up the entire blanket. So it makes you extra super duper warm. The cows and the chickens want that. Such a fantasy story. The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. That means they weren't doing a very good job of waiting. They left a new note on the barn door. Closed, No milk, no eggs. Because now it's the cows and the hens. Cows give us milk, hens give us eggs. They're both on strike. No eggs, cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard them. Click, clack, moo. Click, clack, moo. Clickety, clack, moo. Wonder what's going to happen next. I'm wondering if there's going to be any other animals that are farm animals that are going to go on strike. What kind of other animals might go on strike at a farm? I don't even know. Let's turn the page. Cows that type, hens on strike, whoever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milk and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. And to be furious means really, really super duper mad. Furious is not a good thing. Boy, it's not a good thing. Oh, I'm going to back up a page. Look at Farmer Brown. He's down here. He's just furious. Look at that. Got to notice the details in stories. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown. That's a pretty strongly worded letter. I wonder, what do you think? What is your prediction? To think ahead, what is your prediction? Do you think that the cows and the hens are going to say, oh, okay, and go back to work after they get this letter? Or do you think they're going to still be on strike? What do you think? I don't know. Let's see. Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. Two big words there. Neutral means he doesn't care either way. He's just kind of in the middle, just whatever. And ultimatum is that note that Farmer Brown typed up. I demand milk and eggs. That was his ultimatum. Do it. Let's see if it worked. Ooh. Where did all the color go in the picture? Let's read and see. Oh, and I don't see any of the cows or hens. I see a horse, a pig, a cat, maybe a dog, and a sheep. Let's see what it says. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, to spy, to try and listen. But none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. So these animals don't know what the cows are saying because they don't understand moo. Oh, there's Duck. That must have been why it was dark, because it was night. And now it must be daytime because the color's back. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. He didn't hand it to him, but anyway. Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange, that means to trade, our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows. So now they're trying to make a deal. I bet you've made deals before, made even trades. Well, if you give us blankets, we'll give you the typewriter. It sounds like a really good deal. I hope the farmer takes it. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Nighttime again. Look at how the color's kind of fading away. Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. I knew it was. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. Take a look. See, the cows all have their blankets on. There's the little controller that controls the heat, and then the cords plugged into the wall. And that cow has one, and that cow has one, and even the chickens are sharing one too. That's good. So if they got the blankets, that means they're going to give the milk, and they're going to give eggs now. And the typewriter, what happened to the typewriter? It said, waited for Duck. Let's turn the page. The next morning, he got a note. Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click, clack, quack. Click, clack, quack. Clickety, clack, quack. Duck. Tricky, tricky, tricky. The duck took the typewriter down to the pond. Must have worked. They must have traded the typewriter for a diving board, because that's a duck going head first into the water. The end. Oh my gosh. The author and the illustrator, when you take your reading counts quiz, many times they ask who that person was. So the author, that's the person that wrote the words, is Doreen Cronin. Doreen Cronin. And the illustrator, which is the person that drew all the pictures, was Betsy Lewin. And here's Doreen, and here's Betsy. Okay, here are some comprehension things that you could do. But I've got some pages in our packet for you. So in your My Home Learning packet, I've got a couple pages. The first page is about complete sentences. That means I want you looking at the sentences, and if it is a complete sentence, you're going to color it blue, and if it is an incomplete, that means it's not a good sentence, you're going to color it orange. But you know what? You use what colors you have at your house. Whatever you have is perfect. Number 1, today is John's birthday. Let's see. Begins with capital, has an end mark. Does this make sense? Today is John's birthday. It sounds pretty complete to me. So number 1 is a good sentence. I'm going to color package number 1, the complete color, which on here says blue. You're going to go through and read each sentence. And if it is complete, you color the package blue. If it is incomplete, you color the package orange. Now down at the bottom, it says rewrite the 4 incomplete. So there's only 4 of them that are not good sentences. I want you to rewrite them to make them complete. Then you flip your packet over like a pancake. And there's that comprehension. This is one of those stories you read 3 times through. Read. A couple quick questions about comprehension, understand what happened in the story. I didn't put post notes on it, so I'm gonna have to search for just a moment. There it is. 2 more pages. This one is about the shh sound. I call it the teacher sound because that's what teachers do a lot. We say shh, shh, shh. So work on your shh sound. Here's some words, word bank. And then on the next page, another one of the reading comprehension, 3 stars, which means you're going to read it through 3 times. Read it, and it's the ones where it asks the questions, and you go through and you find the answer, and you color the answer in that color, and then you write the answer on the line, and go through and do that. I really enjoyed seeing pictures today. Thank you so much for sending the pictures of working on your spelling words and sentence. I got pictures of kids doing math pages. I love seeing your pictures, seeing your faces, and seeing that everybody needs a haircut just like me and my kids too. Boy, we've got some long hair growing at our house, and I've seen your hair too. It looks kind of crazy these days, but that's awesome. I don't care. I just love seeing your faces. Okay, you know how to get in touch with me. Call me, text me, send me an email, send me a remind message, send me a picture. I sure do miss you. If you did not get your new packet for next week, I'd love for you to contact me, and I'll see what I can do about that for sure. All right, have a great day. Remember to wash your hands, social distancing, and be good for mom and dad and your adults. All right, I love you. I'll see you. Oh, it's Wednesday. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.